What's up, guys? Jay Daniel here with my co-host Victor Marshall, and this is the Sales at Home podcast.
What's
Cue
up?
intro music. Um, I'm good, dude. So I want to continue what we were just talking about. So like this idea, this idea of like the professional, like this idea of like the burnt out sales guy or the person who's like overwhelmed. Um, I don't think if you're being practical, I don't think it's necessary to be overwhelmed. Um, I think you get overwhelmed when you run in somewhere without a plan and you try to
Hmm.
figure it out as you go without ever taking a second to breathe. Um, if you study like a lot of neuroscience and a lot of like just brain stuff in general, a lot of mindset stuff, you'll start to realize like when the brain's really stressed and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, like you're not going to be able to see things clearly. So
Yeah.
really want to talk about this idea of like being able to, and alter ego effect, right? Like being able to have your hat on when you're planning and you're being strategic and you're setting up your, Jim Rohn says it, right? Your weeks, your don't start your day without finishing your day, right? Don't start your week without finishing your week. Don't start your month without finishing your month. So this idea of putting that hat on to be the strategic thinker as opposed to putting the hat on to just be the implementer, mindlessly implementing what the strategic thinker told you to do, right? That's the entrepreneur. People
Yeah.
don't know they can be the entrepreneur in their own lives, and it becomes a life by design. So, what are your thoughts
Right.
on that?
Yeah. I kind of was having a similar conversation with my wife just about some of the decisions that we've made that have led us to a certain point where we're at, where we chose to live, the people we chose to surround ourselves, our kids going to what school, like it all decisions that kind of lined up that we made a long time ago that we're now seeing kind of play out. And it's the same concept of what you're talking about. You know, you've got to make sure that you put on the right hat, as you would call it, to put on the right thought process to say, okay, let me plan this out. Let me put my entrepreneur hat on. Let me be my critical thinker right now so that I can put my worker in a little bit later. And my worker knows exactly what to do, exactly where to go, exactly how to complete the plan because I've already thought through it, already laid it out. So now I can put my worker hat on, just get to it and do the work. And then I can put my like relaxed hat on and benefit from all the work that I did.
Right. Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes from being present, right? You can't be present in doing activities if you're like you can't be present in doing activities if you're thinking about, oh, the plan sucks, the structure sucks, I got to probably
Yeah.
fix this and this and this. You're gonna do both half-assed. Your plan's gonna be terrible and your process is gonna be terrible. So it's not about it. So it's something that Bill Gates, and I don't like Bill Gates at all, but he's a billionaire. So like, but it's something that him and a lot of these guys talk about. Like it's focus. It's the most important like skill set and commodity that like
Yeah.
the most successful people have, their ability to focus. So like if you're planning your week, turn off all distractions. If you have to sit there in a second in the discomfort because maybe you've been going and going and going for months without stopping, sit there for a second to chill out, take a deep breath. If you take 6 deep breaths, do that for 90 seconds, it actually resets. Well, I think it's called your parasympathetic nervous system. It's the part of your body that like basically turns on the stress part of your brain and just makes you just go, go, go. It turns that off. So now you can think coherently. Once you can think coherently, all you got to do is stay focused on making your plan and not deviate. Something I used to do is like when I would start to plan, because I hadn't done it in so long, I would start like doing the thing I came up. That's such a good idea. Let me start doing it. But I don't finish the plan. And
Hmm.
as soon as I finish doing it, I'm right back where I started. Like you want to really plan things out ahead of time. Like I think the most productive weeks I've ever had, bro, was like, yo, I'm gonna read this book. Like it's not like let me just pick up like, hey, I'm gonna read this book so I can develop this skill set so I can achieve this goal, right? And it's like everything is planned out ahead of time, the night before, the week before, literally the whole
Hmm.
week, everything is planned out. And you don't and it's called having your ideal week, right? So like you don't have to do everything in your ideal week. If you do 70% of it, like it's much better than a normal week or a random week that you've been having,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Do you think it's important to get super detailed in that process? For instance, like I'm going to read this book. Instead of being like, I'm going to read this book, say this book is 32 chapters. I'm going to read 6 chapters a day.
Oh
Like,
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Bro, hell yeah, dude. Divide count the pages and divide that by a 7 or divide that by 14 and just read that many pages every day. Or
yeah.
count the chapters and divide the chapters by 7 and just read that every day. Yeah, yeah. The more intentional you are, the better, because it's like it's a recipe, right?
Yeah.
So if you consciously create the recipe and you follow it, how could you not succeed?
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of we talk a lot about like fitness and working out in the same vein as we do sales and mindset, because a lot of working out is mindset.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like when you go to, you're like, I want to build a stronger back, you don't go in there doing leg presses. Like you go in and you're like, all right, I'm going to do pull-ups, I'm going to do, rows, I'm going to do all these things to build a stronger back, but there's segments of your back that you've got to build, right? So you've got to work out different areas, and if you don't have a plan to do that, then you're stuck, or you're missing segments, or you're not hitting things you're supposed to, because you're kind of just like going by the seat of your pants. And what
Right.
happens when you do that? You end up just bench pressing all day, because that's like, the most popular exercise is the bench press. And it's like, what does that do for your back? Absolutely nothing.
Technically, you do engage some of your lats in a stronger.
Technically.
Yeah. You know
Technically.
what, man,
Yeah.
speaking of working out, you know what's the best like bro split to do if you just want to get in shape? Like just do bench press, squats, rows, and throw some deadlifts in there.
Yeah.
Do some military press if you want to be freaking crazy, but
Yeah.
that pretty much hits that. And then if you do some lunges, bro, really get your core engaged,
Yeah.
dude, that'll get you a six pack.
Throw
That'll get.
some throw some pull-ups and some burpees in there, and you got everything you need.
Bro. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, maybe some dips.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, yeah, bro. Literally, I have a gym in my garage now, and that literally, it's a power tower. So I got the dip station and I got the pull up thing attached to it,
Mm-hmm.
and like that it comes with a little ab thing, whatever. But like the pull ups and the dips, bro, and then I got a bench press, and I got a 45 plate or a 25 plate. You can, and then I got some kettlebells. You can
Yeah.
literally do 100 different workouts with that.
Yeah. That's all you
It just
need.
yeah, yeah, and it just it doesn't even take that much thought because you can just say, okay, 5 sets of bench, 5 sets of this, but progressive overload, and um,
Yeah.
it does play into the game of like long-term results, because you can get short-term results being consistent. You need to get long-term results. You need to be consistent with a plan that'll get
Mm-hmm.
you there. Because yeah, bro, life just gets so in the way, and so many things happen. Like if you're not
Oh
keeping
yeah.
track of your progress, it's not gonna happen.
I think that's good what you said. You said you can get short-term results with consistency. But to get
Yep,
long-term results, you need consistency and a plan,
100%.
because consistency alone is nothing. It's yeah, I shouldn't say that. It's something, right? You're doing something.
You're showing up.
Yeah. And that's great and good on you.
So did the
But
guy in last place.
exactly, like he showed up too. But what's your plan? How are you going to succeed with that consistency? And I think a lot of times people get stuck in like, well, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but it's like, all right, well, you're kind of aimlessly doing it. Like you're not
Right.
targeted at all. And it's like you can shoot a gun and then you can shoot a gun and hit the target. You know what I mean? And that's why they call it
Yep.
a target, because you have to be targeted on it to hit it. Like
Yep.
there's no way you can blindlessly shoot. You might hit it, maybe. But if you're focused, number one, and you're targeted, then you almost always hit your shot.
Yep. Dude, I heard this saying. It's like the amateur practices until they get it right, and the professional practices until they can't
Till
get it
they can't
wrong.
get it wrong. Yeah.
Right. And so that's a good book, by the way. It's 177 mental strategies of the world class.
Uh,
Really good book if anybody wants to read it. One of the better ones that I've seen. It's also short. It's a little thing you can kind of refer back to. You don't have to read it.
nice.
You can just pick little chapters. But yeah, dude. Like I think 99% of the world's problems are solved by just consciously thinking. Right?
Yeah.
Like like truly consciously thinking. Like what do I want? What I need to get there? Like what needs to be changed about this to get there? Like just
Yeah.
because I don't know. I can't think of a problem that can't be solved by like really consciously thinking through it.
Yeah.
At least
Facts.
improved.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like this life is not difficult. Life shouldn't be difficult. It should be challenging. It shouldn't
Yup.
be difficult. And challenge, I think difficulty is when you start to fear and get hopeless and give up in your challenge. That's difficulty, right? That's when things get difficult. But
Yup.
if you look at those people who climb mountains and things like that, they're like, no, it's not easy. It's a challenge. It's not difficult though. Difficult means, I'm afraid of it. But people who go into challenges knowing that they're going to complete the challenge, knowing that they've put the plan and effort into, nothing's difficult. It's just challenging. And life can be challenging and it can like push you to that limit. But if you work on where you want to be and how you want to end up and have a plan that's clear and that's precise and that you can follow easily and that you can put the work in, then it's not difficult. It's just challenging.
100%. Oh, that's powerful, dude. And that just comes down to perspective, right?
Yeah. It's
Like
reframing how we think.
the beauty of sales is like the better you are at understanding yourself and directing your thought process, the more you can direct other people's. You notice somebody's energy is low, and you're like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you, right? Like you can start to do that with yourself. Um, it's kind of interesting how it goes full circle, bro. I won't say sales is my favorite thing in the world, but it's definitely something where it's definitely a personal development journey
Yeah.
that you get paid to do. Better than
Yeah.
college. Unless you
Yeah.
want to just drink the whole time. I think it's better than college. Oh, bro, all my buddies that went to college, they're you know, they're worse off. Um, but cool, bro. I think we actually hit the nail on the head with this one.
Yeah.
Guys, so we were thinking about going super long, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. Um, if you're watching this and you're like overwhelmed and you're kind of stuck, like probably want to watch this like 2 or 3 times because like
Yeah.
the answers are there. The answers are in front of you. Um, and I used to hear Ty Lopez say this. I haven't seen Ty's stuff in a while, but he's the one that got me started in the space actually in 2016. But
Yeah.
it was like I don't fear the man. I think he quoted somebody else like Bruce Lee, but I don't fear the man that does 10,000 kicks once. It's the man that does one kick 10,000 times, right?
Yeah.
People fear death, not with. So
Yeah.
get deep.
Yeah, man.
Cool. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. Where else are we, Victor?
Everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're under your bed. Just look, you'll see some sales at home merch.
Yeah. As long as
Couch.
you rate us 5 stars when we're under the bed, that's all that matters.
That's it. 5 stars. 5 stars. We'll send you some free merch. All right, guys. Thanks for jumping on. Peace.
See ya. Thanks for watching Sales at Home podcast. If you loved our content and would like to see more, please hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any episodes coming up. If you'd like to see more of Jay Daniel, click here. If you'd like to see more of the Ninja Closer, click here. If you'd like to get your questions answered by us on our show, email us at salesathomepodcast@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. Peace.